Good evening, YouTube. What's going on? Yet another diecast video. This one's going to be very generic, very mediocre content. As you can see here with this M2. Although I actually do like this casting. This particular release, I almost think I like the basic M2 cars better because the doors don't open, and I just think it gives them a much cleaner look and it causes less problems. But your bumpers are still just as likely to fall off. That's a sharp looking Roadrunner though. Awesome wheels, awesome tires with the little red stripe. Nice detailed grille and bumper. All chrome trim around the glass, and then as it comes around the back, got nice detail with the brake lights and rear bumper. So, the only reason I'm doing this, I'm going to crack some cars, but these were sitting out, and two of these cars are both Mercury Cougars. So I'll start with this one here. This is also from their basic lineup. So these retail, oh, there's a little bug on it. These retail, I think, like $3.99 at Walmart. They might be $2.99. I think I've seen them between $3. Actually, I think I've seen them between $3 and $5. They're not worth $5. Even $4 is pushing it. I think they are nicer than the Auto World Basic. Actually, I don't know if I believe that. Auto World Basics are really nice. What really kills me with those is the wheels they put on them. The wheels on those are just horrible, and it sucks because the castings are actually really nice. But this is your $3 to $4 M2 1969 Mercury Cougar. And to me, you know, I know a lot of my subscribers are big on M2. They go on my videos and comment and defend M2 and talk about how awesome they are. And that's fine that you feel that way. I don't feel that way. I think that they're okay. I will tell you though, when those Nissans come out, I've got an inner on order. I'm contemplating getting a Master. So in this case, I know the Johnny Lightning is a premium car, and I know it costs more. Get out of here. Come on. But I think that the Johnny Lightning smashes the M2. Now, that's not always the case. There's a lot of cars where M2 is going to smash Johnny Lightning. But on this Mercury Cougar, Johnny Lightning wins. I just think like the back end on the M2 looks cheap. It's just a painted chrome insert bumper, which I think the Johnny is actually the same. It just has a nicer look. I think it's a more realistic look. The wheels and tires, you know, I like the wheels and tires on the M2. They look good, but I think they look a lot better on the Johnny. I don't know if those are like Krager wheels, but those Goodyear Eagle tires look awesome. Now the M2 is a 2-piece wheel and tire. The Johnny Lightning is a 3. I like the vinyl top detail quite a bit better too, but I know that doesn't have anything to do with the brand. Another thing too, I know Johnny's run a little bit small for 1 to 64, but I think M2 runs a little big for 1 to 64. They just seem big. If you, you know, a good analysis would be take a car that Auto World does and try to find the same casting that M2 does. And one of those castings, though it's not the same car, it's very close, is the 69 Camaro. You can take an M2 69 Camaro and an Auto World 69 Firebird, because those cars, while there are going to be some subtle differences in the design of the car, they're going to be identical in size. And if you take an M2 69 Camaro and put it up to an Auto World 68 or 69 Trans Am or Firebird, the Camaro is a lot bigger. So I think they almost run more 1:60, which isn't all that big of a deal. That's not the reason I'm not a big fan of them. Really just has to do with the redundancy, which is really an issue with all the brands, but mostly just how cheap they are with their pieces falling off. It's just it's very excessive, and it's an issue that I don't have with any other brand. So I know that they're assembled by hand. They have one guy that designs them, and they're all put together by hand. So I know that that's tedious, but I mean, personally, I would think that would be a reason to reduce issues, but instead it seems to be a reason as to why there are more issues. So I don't know. I know a lot of you disagree with me, and that's fine. You know, to each their own. M2, there are a lot of cars that they really do well. Those Ford F100 pickups are sick. Some of my favorite castings of any brand. Here's another casting from M2 that they do a really nice job with. I mean, this is just top shelf. You're not going to find a nicer 57 Chevy. It is very, very well done. Not a big fan of the opening doors, but other than that, it's a really nice model. There are some other models too, like the Pontiac Star Chief, the Ford Crestliner, the Mercury Turnpike. They do cars like that are just sick, that no one else does. So, I don't know. I like them, but you know, with all the brands that are out there, if you have to pick one, you know, like what I did is I was buying so much, I had to pick a brand to cut out completely, and that brand was M2. So, all right, let's crack some cars. This is one of those videos, just like a time-killing video. Happy Father's Day, by the way, all you dads out there. I have all of these cars. I have them all loose, but I had a big box of Retro Entertainments, and I've got to have some work done on my car, so I'm going to part ways with a few of my die-cast cars. I'm going to try to minimize it, but anyways, I had a box of 35 Hot Wheels Retro Entertainment cars, and I took 20 of them out that I'm going to sell. They're actually listed on eBay right now. One of the lots it's a nice lot. It's got the Slime Racto, the original kit and car. It's got the BJ and the Bear Thunder Roller, the Friday Night Lights Silverado. It's got the 1955 Time Machine with the white wall tires. It's got the Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino. So it's a really nice lot. The other one, the cars are more common, but whoever gets in on those will get some nice cars for a pretty good price. But these were the 7 left that I didn't think would, well, 1 or 2 of them would probably do okay, but I just didn't think I'd get a good enough return on these. I think I'd almost do better to crack them open and sell them as wheel donors. So, which I may do at some point. Except for the Alfa. That one I'll put into my collection, even if it is a duplicate or triplicate. Come on. So, this Ford Bronco is pretty dope, but compared to a green light, it's a far cry. The body itself actually looks really good. It's just the it's the interior, the roll cage. The roll cage looks really bad, but they have to do it like that to keep it durable. I mean, that's one thing about these Hot Wheels cars is they can be played with pretty rough. They can be dropped, and they're gonna stay together even with like the brush guard on the front and the roll cage, even with the convertible top and the windshield. You could drop this and play. You know, kids don't always play nice. And though these are adult collectibles, they're still on the toy aisle. I think the age is like six and up on retro. I don't know. The point is that kids' toys, sometimes kids can play hard with their toys. And these can be played with a lot harder than a green light Ford Bronco, which are more of a model car, more for displaying. So while this doesn't look nearly as good as the green light, I think it still is a good looking Ford Bronco. I just think it would look a lot better without that the roll cage. That's, to me, I would almost prefer it not to have that. But then it wouldn't be authentic to the movie. I actually recently, I think I showed it on video, but I recently got the Greenlight Zoolander Bronco, and that's a car. It came out long before I started collecting, so it took me a long time to get it, but I might do a video on my Greenlight Ford Broncos. I've already done the Chevelles and the GTRs, so the only other casting videos that I would do is the Crown Vic and the Bronco, and then after that it would just be series. Here's another total peg warmer. This can actually still be found in my area at Walmart's and Kroger's, and it came out a while ago. That's how awful this casting is and how unpopular. 2014, so it's been out at least 2 years, and it's still hanging on pegs. People aren't even buying it for the wheels. And you can see why. They're not the most desirable Hot Wheels real riders. And they're not the same size, so for people that do customs, that might play into their decision not to get it. So this is another one that both Hot Wheels and Greenlight both did. And the Greenlight definitely smashes the Hot Wheels in both cases. And you say, well, yeah, it should, you know, Greenlight's $6. Well, these are $5. So you pay $1 more for the Greenlight and you get a heck of a lot more of a realistic look and a heck of a lot more detail and quality. But what you get with these that you don't get with Greenlight is you get cars that can be played with pretty rough. This is another one. You can drop it, you can bang it up. This plastic piece on top's not going to fall off easily. The wheels and tires aren't going to fall off easily. So, still a pretty cool Hot Wheel. Especially for all you van lovers. The front end on that thing looks good, though, actually. You don't ever see how nice the front end is on that when it's in the package. But when it comes around, take a look. The back windows are tampoed. I think it looks pretty good. But look at the grill. The grill looks really nice on that van. So that's pretty cool. I almost think I would prefer this without the antenna on top. And just have the regular... What is this, a Dodge Alright, let's see. I'm going to do this one last. Do that one. Let's do this one next. As always, I'm going from my least favorite to my most favorite, although I should have switched those last two, because I do like the Bronco more than the van. And I like all of these. I like this Corvette. It's just, out of these 5 cars that are left, it's my least favorite. So, I guess I'll start off with this car by saying that when Chevy redesigned this a couple years ago, I think it was 2014, they did an awesome job. This looks so much better than its predecessor. What they did back here with the back window gives it a much more European exotic look to it. So I really like what they did there with that, and I like what Hot Wheels did with the Gran Turismo release with the Gran Turismo graphics. Might be hard to tell, but there is brake light detail on this car, as well as headlight detail. And it's just a sharp looking car. It's a nice paint job. I'm not a big fan of the wheels. I think this one would have looked better with chrome. And I'm not a big fan of these wheels at all. These are probably my least favorite Real Rider wheels. Even in chrome, I'm not a fan of those. But I think with the chrome 5-spoke would look really good. Alright, so next up, let's do this one. This is sick, and I like these wheels a lot. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more custom Hot Wheels with these wheels. I'm surprised that we haven't seen these wheels used as donors more than what we have. Really nice wheels and tires. And another smashing hit from Hot Wheels with this satin black color. Looks really good. The Gran Turismo graphics look really good, and the wheels and tires to cap it off look really good. Look at that back end detail on this car. Man, premium. That is a sick Ford GT right there. When it comes back around, look at the brake light detail. The whole back end is done, and done well. It's got a great stance. The wheels, the way everything sits, the ground clearance, it just looks really, really good. The spoiler is part of the casting, but it's clean. So, very cool. Just so you can see it in a little bit better light. Here's the detail of the back end with the brake lights. Very cool. That's an awesome car. Alright, so next we'll do this. This is another one that was warming pegs in my area for a long time, but they've actually finally been scooped up. This car is another thing too, I didn't really talk about, but the card art on these is sick. Hot Wheels has gotten really good with card art. With the Retro Entertainment series, it's gotten really good. The Car Culture card art is sick. Now, the Gran Turismo Entertainment cars, I thought the card art was really weak. In fact, here's a comparison. This is the next car that I'm going to crack open. Here's the card art on the Gran Turismo. It's just the top of the car. But on the Forza, not only is it the car, but it's like almost like a half animated, I don't know, really, really nice look. This car is very popular. Ford Falcons, you can go in Australia, you can go to a Ford dealership and buy a Ford Falcon. They're still made to this day. They're just not produced or commercially available in the United States. This car, for any of you customizers that want to make a Mad Max Interceptor, this would be a great car to start with. Actually, we're going to be seeing that from Greenlight, the Interceptor. That's going to be a hit. This is a cool car. I don't know. Gosh. So the 5 cars that came out in the Forza set, I guess I could see why this would be the peg warmer. If this is the worst car of the 5-car set, then obviously it was a good set, because this is a pretty cool car. There is a little bit of a flaw here. That's a tampo flaw, and it ain't coming off. So on the passenger door, you will see a little bit, it looks like actually a little bit above that rear fender on the driver's side too. Some tampo flaws. But damn, that car is sick. Blacked out windows, nice detail on the back end. This would be a car, I should almost send this out to Slayer Nays, send it out to Vic and have him give it the brushed up post-race look. This car would look sick with that look. I wish Hot Wheels would do more of that. So the next car from Gran Turismo is this Nissan Concept 2020 Vision GT. I don't know if this is going to be the next GTR, or if this is like, you know, a step above the GTR. It's a very exotic look. The car in real life looks really good. Not all that impressed with it here. And it's not a Hot Wheels thing. It's just the look of it almost looks like a fantasy car. But it is not. In fact, Tomica Limited Vintage has done this car. So it is a legitimate car. Maybe it'll be one of those cars that Hot Wheels does one time and then the car gets relatively popular, like the Koenigsegg, and shoots up to $80. It is a sick car. These are some other Hot Wheels Real Riders that I can't stand. The lace wheels. Even with chrome or gold chrome or black, I just don't like them. They look like mainline wheels with rubber treads. I don't know. Pretty cool car, I guess. It is, for all you JDM fans, it is a JDM. Very interesting greenhouse. Actually resembles the GTR a little bit. The greenhouse does. The front windshield, the way it kind of wraps around. And then the last one. Oh, I love this car. It's totally sick. The wheels, the tires are totally sick. The livery, the colorway. It's the first time Hot Wheels did this casting. Matchbox has done it. Tomica Limited Vintage has done it. I have to say, with Hot Wheels' first attempt at it, they nailed it. Totally nailed it. It's got an awesome vintage racing look to it. And from this 5-car set, I think this car, well, you had the Lamborghini Gallardo, the Ford GT, the Camaro ZL1. None of them had chrome wheels, though, except for this. This was by far, I think, by far the nicest car of the 5-car set. But I know a lot of people were into the Ford GT. But I think the Camaro was an underrated car because of that paint job that it had was pretty nice. So here it is, the Alfa Romeo Giulia. That is sick. It's got a great stance to it. Got an awesome paint job, the graphics. I know when this car came out, a lot of people got excited just because of the resemblance to the vintage racing Datsun. They look very similar from like the standpoint of their similar size and stature. I think they put the same wheels on this that they put on that. And then the colorway with the red and white. Those wheels and tires are dope. So that's a great car. Hot Wheels smashed it. It looks really good. I think actually a Golf custom on one of these with I should hit up Boogie Customs and have him do me a Spectre Flame Golf Alfa Romeo. That would be sick. So anyways, I'm gonna put these M2s and Johnny Lightnings down here, and then I'm going to just do a street view here. So there's the beginning part of the video there. So for Hot Wheels, on a scale 1 to 10, I give them a 10 on that car. On the Nissan Vision, I don't know, maybe a 6 or a 7. Probably a 7 on that. 6 or 7 on that. Maybe a 6 or 7 on that. It's hard. I don't want to give out 10s like, you know, like they're nothing. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give the Bronco a 3 or a 4. And I'd give that van probably a 3. So these ones definitely score higher. But I do give the Alfa a 10. Just because, you know, with Hot Wheels being what it is, and having my expectation of Hot Wheels being what it is, this exceeds any expectations I would have of Hot Wheels doing this car. I would not expect a Hot Wheels Alfa Romeo to be this nice. Matchbox I would. I'd really like to see Matchbox start doing more premium stuff. The Best Of series is nice, but it's not like a smashing hit, in my opinion. But that's it. So there you go. We got Alfa, Nissan, Ford, Chevy, Ford, I got some more stuff to throw up on eBay, so I'm going to call it a night. You all have a good rest of your weekend, and I will holler at the next video.